The EU just forced Google to open up Android's voice and background APIs to rival AI agents and mandated sharing anonymized search data, a move that could fundamentally reshape how builders launch products on mobile. We're also diving into new grounding capabilities for enterprise AI, hardware backed safety for financial agents, the massive energy problem facing AI infrastructure, and a $55 million bet on AI in hospitals. No BS AI briefing, brought to you by Proactive AI. Welcome back. I'm your host, Vikas Sharma, and this is where builders get straightforward AI news without the fluff. Alright, let's dive into the headlines for this week. We've got some really high signal items that builders need to pay attention to. First up, Google Gemini Enterprise is adding real time web grounding with citations. Google just launched something called Grounding with Parallel Web Search for their Gemini Enterprise agent platform. In plain English, this means they're integrating real time search directly into their agents as a native way to verify information. What's truly interesting is that agent responses will now include verifiable cited web sources. For anyone building products where accuracy and auditability are crucial, think compliance, legal, or even customer support, this is a big deal because it directly addresses the notorious hallucination problem in LLMs. For builders, the interesting part is that this introduces a grounding as a service pattern which significantly reduces the custom engineering you typically need to build these kinds of reliability layers yourself. It lets you differentiate your product on transparent, cited outputs right out of the box. Imagine building a research agent that doesn't just give answers but shows you exactly where it got that information. That's a huge step forward for trust. Next, we're seeing a fascinating development from Ledger, who've just unveiled a hardware backed safety stack for AI agents. You might know Ledger from the crypto world, and they're leveraging that expertise. They've launched an open source toolkit that literally blocks autonomous blockchain transactions unless there's a physical confirmation from a Ledger device. This toolkit also stores API keys and AI credentials using OpenPGP encryption. They're directly targeting what they call the rogue agent risk, especially in high stakes financial systems where an autonomous AI making unauthorized transactions could be catastrophic. Why this matters for builders is that it adds a concrete physical safety layer for finance, DeFi, and any other regulated workflows where you absolutely cannot afford an AI making unsupervised decisions with real money. It establishes a robust hardware plus crypto pattern that other risky domains could mirror, potentially reducing liability and supporting broader enterprise adoption of truly autonomous agents in sensitive areas. It's an interesting blend of physical security and AI trust. Also, a really big one here. The EU has just ordered Google to open its Android APIs and share anonymized search data. This isn't a suggestion, these are binding rules that require Google to provide access for rival AI agents to Android's voice activation and background task APIs. On top of that, Google must share anonymized search data by January 2027. This is a landmark move, effectively prying open a dominant platform to competitive AI agents. For builders, this creates an entirely new distribution channel on Android for non Google agents, potentially allowing your AI product to integrate deeply into the OS in ways previously impossible. It also partially levels the data playing field by mandating anonymized search data sharing, which could fuel innovation for smaller players. And strategically, it signals a strong regulatory willingness to curb platform lock in, which could have implications beyond just Android. Moving on, Bunker Hill Health has raised a substantial $25 million Series B for hospital AI agents. This round was led by Khosla Ventures, bringing their total funding to an impressive $55 million. What are they building? Agents that manage hospital operations and clinical algorithms. This isn't just a pilot project, this is serious institutional capital validating enterprise agent deployments in one of the most regulated and complex environments out there, healthcare. For you as a builder, this matters because it offers a clear template for how AI agents can operate and scale in other highly regulated verticals. It suggests that if you can tackle the compliance and safety hurdles in healthcare, you've got a robust playbook for finance, defense, or critical infrastructure. It's also very likely to attract more talent and follow on investment to the AI agent category, especially those focusing on operational efficiency in critical sectors. Finally, Nebius, an AI cloud provider, has secured a massive $1.7 billion for AI cloud power infrastructure. This funding from Industrial Development Funding and Oaktree is specifically for deploying Bloom Energy fuel cells to power Nebius's AI cloud. This isn't about buying more GPUs, it's about providing behind the meter power dedicated solely to AI compute operations. This news really underscores that energy has become a core scaling bottleneck for AI. We're hearing more and more that the constraint isn't just chips, but the sheer electricity needed to run them. For builders, this highlights that power infrastructure is rapidly becoming a strategic moat in the AI space. Expect compute costs to increasingly track energy constraints, which could make edge or distributed AI options more appealing. It also brings a geopolitical dimension to AI, as access to stable, affordable power becomes a competitive advantage. Now, let's take a deeper dive into what I think is the most impactful story this week: the EU's mandate forcing Google to open up Android APIs and share anonymized search data. This isn't just a proposal or a fine, it's a binding, date certain action that fundamentally unlocks Android integration and anonymized search data for rival AI agents. What happened is clear. The EU has imposed new rules that mandate Google to provide rival AI agents with access to Android's core voice activation features and background task APIs. Imagine being able to truly integrate your AI assistant at the operating system level, just like Google's own assistant. Additionally, by January 2027, Google has to share anonymized search data. This is a big deal because traditionally, Google's dominant Android footprint and its stranglehold on search data have been a significant barrier to deep OS access and data for competing services. This ruling sets a powerful precedent, fully aligned with the EU's broader efforts to enforce digital market competition. Why does this matter right now for builders? Well, first, it creates a rare, regulator driven distribution channel for your AI products. It means you might not have to fight for scraps on Google Play or through clunky workarounds. You could potentially integrate your agent directly into the Android experience. Think about the implications for voice AI, for smart assistants, or for background services that manage user workflows without constant interaction. This isn't just about making things a little easier, it's about opening up entirely new possibilities for user engagement and stickiness. It's about moving from an app centric world to an agent centric world where your AI can be truly ambient. Who should care about this? Definitely indie hackers and startups. This is your chance for early mover advantage in developing voice first Android agents that can truly compete on a level playing field, or at least a more level playing field. If you've got a unique AI capability, this could be your moment to gain significant traction. Product managers should care because it broadens the scope of what's possible on Android for non Google products, forcing a re evaluation of your mobile strategy. Engineering leaders, especially those focused on application layers, need to pay close attention to the new APIs and how they can be leveraged. Even infrastructure engineers might find implications as new agent architectures emerge to take advantage of these deeper OS integrations. It changes the competitive landscape, pushing you to think differently about where and how your AI product delivers value. How I think about it as a builder is this: for too long, deep OS integration on dominant mobile platforms has been a closed shop, a walled garden that limited innovation outside the platform owner. This EU mandate cracks that wall open, at least partially. The immediate opportunity is to explore what true background, voice activated AI agents could do on Android if given similar privileges to Google's own. Could your scheduling agent handle calls directly? Could your health coach offer real time proactive advice based on sensor data without you having to launch an app? The anonymized search data, while its utility is yet to be fully seen, could also fuel more personalized and context aware AI experiences. However, the risks are there too. Google's compliance could be slow, minimal, or even come with caveats. The utility of the anonymized data might be more limited than initially hoped, and global regulations might fragment, meaning what works in the EU won't work elsewhere. You'll need to stay agile and pragmatic. My no BS take on this is that this is more than just regulatory noise, it's a foundational shift. While the full impact will unfold over years, the signal is clear. Regulators are increasingly willing to intervene to foster competition in the AI agent space. Don't expect a complete free for all, but do expect new avenues for distribution and data access that simply didn't exist before. This isn't hype, it's a concrete regulatory action with real implications for your product roadmap. If you want one practical takeaway from today's episode, here it is. Ask your team, how would our product change if Android voice and background APIs open to us and we had access to anonymized search data free and reliably? Here's how to try it in under 30 minutes. 1. Gather your key product stakeholders. This means your product manager, engineering lead, and maybe a lead designer. Get them in a room for a focused, short brainstorming session. 2. On define a core user problem or workflow that Android currently makes difficult. Think about something that requires a lot of manual interaction, app switching, or that your users wish your AI could do more proactively on their device. For instance, imagine a customer support AI that could proactively troubleshoot device issues in the background, or a personal assistant AI that truly understood user intent across all apps, not just your own. 3. Brainstorm 2-3 new use cases. With the assumption that deep Android voice activation and background APIs plus anonymized search data are accessible, quickly sketch out 2-3 radical new features or workflows. Don't worry about technical feasibility for now, just focus on user value. How would these capabilities fundamentally change how users interact with your product on Android? Could your AI handle complex multi-app tasks like scheduling a meeting by checking calendars, finding a restaurant, and then drafting an email all through voice without ever launching a specific app? 4. Estimate rough effort versus impact. Vote koi vote. For each brainstormed idea, assign a quick high, medium, low score for both the effort to build it, assuming the APIs exist, and the potential impact it would have on your users or business. This specific thought experiment is worth your time right now because it pushes you beyond incremental thinking. It helps you prepare for a potential paradigm shift in mobile AI, a world where your AI agents aren't just siloed apps but deeply integrated, proactive companions. By doing this, you're not just reacting to future regulatory changes, you are proactively shaping what your product could become if the mobile OS landscape becomes more open for AI builders. It's about seeing around the corner and identifying your strategic plays early. That's it for today's No BS AI briefing. If this helped, follow the show in your podcast app and share it with one builder you know. And if you've got questions or topics you want covered, connect with me on LinkedIn and send them over. See you in the next briefing.